Kitty cat, stop. How's it going, everybody? It is the TDG2000 here, and we are back with some more Intel video. We got our Season 4 here. Look at that. 5 big old spots for some Intel. But we got Season 4 today. There are 31 Intel. I just read the other 3. That makes up 34 for the exclusive, or for the for the Onslaught Intel, the exclusive content tab. And today, we're going to be going through all 31 Intels plus our 2 little declassified logs here. Now, what I've come to peace is that these declassified logs are sprinkled into these 2 are going to be inside of one of the documents, or 2 different documents, or usually they say it just really depends, but these are going to be in the intels. I still just like to read them anyways. 1984 11/28. Per your request, I've compiled all known intelligence on the Omega defectors. Our asset reports 8 Omega scientists in total wish to defect. These individuals are high-ranking scientists from 4 of their departments, including exoscientific phenomenon, psychotronics, necroanalytics, and weapons development. Once we have received approval, we are estimating at least 2 weeks until we can proceed with extraction in the Ural Mountains. It has been just over 2 weeks since the unfortunate disaster involving Omega's Reality Inversion's warheads. Peck hoped the missiles could be recovered, but as I expected, our salvage efforts have been proven futile. What remains of the warheads belongs to the ocean now. We must begin again. We cannot afford another setback at the hands of Requiem. I had hoped to deal with them after Operatia Inversia, but I can see now they require my immediate and undivided attention. So I believe that these intels are actually going to be before the second outbreak Easter egg, aka the prologue to Mauer der Toten. So in my playlist, I will be having this. I'll have exclusive content first, then this video, and then finally the what's it called? Finally, the Easter egg, because I'm pretty sure that these intel are before the actual Easter egg. So first up, we have 9 in Requiem, and we got our audio logs first up. First up is Aftermath. After the incident at the Omega Missile Silo, Requiem senior staff discussed the fallout from Maxis's rogue operation.
Clusterfuck in our hands, don't we? Our own strike team running an off-the-books operation cooked up by a Soviet officer and someone on house arrest? Yeah, the director's gonna love that.
Agent Maxis is not under arrest, per se. Under observation, perhaps. So no one observed her straying outside the chain of command.
Look, maybe it wasn't sanctioned. Was it really wrong of her to dump those warheads in the sea? She might have saved the East Coast from becoming one big outbreak zone.
It wasn't her call, Gray. She should have come to me first. However good her intentions, nobody hijacks my troops.
Besides, I have serious doubts that those warheads were really meant for use against us.
Carver, this is more of your Dark Ether Overlord talk, is it?
Do I walk into your lab and slap a test tube out of your hand, Strauss? No. Show me the same respect. I think Omega recognizes the real danger here, and so should we.
So, if those missiles were meant to stop something worse than what we've already seen, and we just eliminated them, did we just leave the world more vulnerable?
Meeting's over, people. I don't know how this will all shake out, but it wasn't our best day by a long shot. Gray, I'd like a word, alone.
Interesting. So yeah, this is definitely right after the first egg, but before the second. You knew better. Weaver chastises Gray for her role in Maxis' rogue op as Gray raises more pressing concerns.
Weaver, I don't know what to say.
There's nothing to say. Your lack of military experience is no excuse for what you did. You knew better, and you did it anyway.
I just wanted to let her talk to the team. I didn't know what she was gonna...
One thing you're not is stupid. But I also don't think you're a traitor. Which is why I'm taking the heat on this one. No one upstairs is aware of your role in Sam's little side operation. And that's how it'll stay. As long as you never fucking cross me again. Understood?
Yes.
How is she anyway?
Agent Maxis is still showing high levels of Ethereum contamination in her bloodstream. But the way it's affecting her is different than any other subject I've observed.
Meaning?
It's not just her eyes. There are things happening on a cellular level I can't quantify yet.
You keep your notes in our central database, yes? That would explain the new orders. The director wants to run more specialized tests on Maxis. If you're asked to cooperate, you do as instructed. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
And Gray? Remember, if it's on the main frame, everyone above my pay grade can access it. If there's something you want to tell me, you tell me in person.
I promise, Weaver. I won't keep anything else from you.
I'm glad we understand each other. Dismissed.
Alright. Wait, so... was Gray the one that set up the... I wonder if Gray was the one that had the radio set up then for the first step to be able to get in contact with Maxis, but... Either ways, we got DASA Station Blueprint, design specs for the Dark Ether Specimen Analyzer, used to broadcast specimen analysis data back to Requiem HQ via satellite, with additional notes from Gray. CIA Sat-9 Dark Ether Specimen Analyzer, designation Rec US DASA 3, Office of Requiem DS&T. Note 1. How does a severed head scream? Quite loudly, apparently. From G. Note 2. If you want to get ahead, get a brain. From G as well. The Omega 8. Report for the director discussing the Omega scientists who wish to defect to Requiem. Memorandum for the director from Weaver, subject Omega 8. Per your request, I've compiled all known intelligence on the Omega defectors who've been in contact with field asset Powder Keg on November 24th. Asset reported 8 Omega scientists in total wish to defect, known internally as the Omega 8. The Omega 8 are comprised of high-ranking scientists from 4 of Omega's departments, including exoscientific phenomenon, psychiatrics, necroanalytics, and weapon development. Number 1. Dr. Dietrich Schultz, male 52, scientist in exoscientific phenomenon, reports directly to Dr. Peck, assisted in the development of the reality inversion warheads. Dr. Hannah Kovacs, female 46, scientist in exoscientific phenomenon, reports directly to Dr. Peck, also assisted in the development of the reality inversion warheads. Dr. Natalia Zarkova, female 38, scientist in psychotronics, reports directly to Dr. Valentina, claims to have been developing a device in secret that will be of high interest to Requiem. Also, she was the first scientist to make contact with Powder Keg. Andrea Brzezinska, female, 35, research assistant in psychotronics, reports to Dr. Zarkova, claims to have valuable intelligence on Dr. Valentina. Jacob Kaminsky, male, 32, research assistant in psychotronics, reports to Dr. Zarkova, also claims to have valuable intelligence on Dr. Valentina. Dr. Hugo Yeager, this is the fake scientist that we later found out set us up and is probably and is still alive. Because obviously, yeah, he's still alive because he set us up. But we did think that he was one of the doctors, but you know, he trapped us in that egg. But we're not really supposed to have that knowledge yet, so whatever. Dr. Hugo Yeager, male 35, research lead of Necroanalytics, has extensive documentation on the secretive department, also responsible for arranging safe passage to the Ural Mountains for the rendezvous with Powder Keg. Marek Chernesky, male 39, records manager in Necroanalytics, has extensive documentation on the department. And finally, Dr. Marina Vengorova, Dr. Marina Vengorova, a female, 42, scientist in weapons development, worked with Dr. Peck developing the Red Soldier mechanized armor. We will continue the verification process once we have received approval. We are estimating at least 2 weeks until we proceed with extraction and in the Ural Mountains. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes I have to actually read the little note because it cuts it off. I can't go down anymore, so that's weird. But either way, our last little document here, the child's note. A note found on the mystery box bunny appears to be written by a child with a connection to the dark ether. Oh yeah, so this is you get this by once you pick up the bunny, then it will drop a document. So this is actually an Easter egg step that you can get. So the child's note. This is my best friend, Mr. Peaks. Mr. Peaks is always watching. Mr. Peaks likes to play hide and seek. Mr. Peaks lives in my hat. Mr. Peaks always tells the truth. Thank you, Mr. Peaks. You keep me safe in the dark place. Interesting. So we have a confirmed name for the mystery box bunny. Mr. Peaks. Interesting. Alright, next up we got 2 radio transmissions. Welcome back. Weaver berates his strike team for their involvement in the incident at the Omega missile silo. Oh god, here we go. We're gonna get yelled at.
Welcome back to the Ural Mountains. It's been a few weeks, but now that you've been cleared to return to active duty, I expect you to be on your best behavior. You got off lightly. After what you did in Ruka last month, you should be facing a court-martial. You can thank the director for intervening and sparing you that fate. The incident has been expunged from your record. It never happened. As far as the CIA is concerned, the missile launch was a mechanical failure. You were never there. And in case I haven't already made myself clear, you acted without oversight. You participated in an operation without the approval of anyone at Requiem. That cannot happen. Ever again. You do not answer to Maxis. You answer to me. If she contacts you through back channel, you report that to me. She's not one of us. She's not Requiem. Now, that being said, your actions had a ripple effect through Omega. Ravenov contacted me. He's in touch with scientists who want to defect. We're working on a plan to extract them. You are making an impact in this fight. You just have to do it the right way.
Okay, so that does confirm. I have had a very suspicious feeling that maybe every single time we play, we are a different strike team. But now, I think this confirms we are the same strike team every match. Technically, every time you play, you're the same characters. So, that's actually kind of... That's cool, though. I actually really like this intel. I think it's really cool that they're actually like saying how us as characters got in trouble and how we literally could be in jail right now if it weren't for the director. I really do think that's cool that one of these intels is finally talking about us as a player Now, it's kind of weird because, yes, we don't have a crew necessarily, because we just can play as any random operator. But it is good to know and think in the head that we are the same team. Now, what's going to happen in Mara der Toten, though, is what I'm excited to be. Are we going to be officially a part of Omega now? I don't know. I'm very excited. Honestly, this intel so far, plus with the last Easter egg, banger. And I am super, super hyped now for Mara der Toten. And I can't wait to keep going through these intels because I know we're just going to get a little bit more tips and pieces of just a little bit. Because obviously this is before the second Outbreak Easter egg, but I know that they're going to be throwing in a little thing here and there. So we'll see what's coming next. And also I would like some more context on the second Outbreak Easter egg, so we will see if we'll get that. We probably won't, though. But patterns. Gray provides some insight into what she's learned about Ethereum in one particularly unique case study.
Well, look at you. Requiem's night team back in action. I imagine that must feel nice. So, about what happened with Sam. Not sure if you heard about my role in that whole business. Earned myself a bit of a slap on the wrist for that one. Not to worry, everything's fine. So I've been told. Just imagine if those missiles had detonated. The effects of Ethereum on a populace of that size, the outcome would have been grim. It's tricky to nail down. Ethereum. From our tests at the data stations, the only pattern we've established is that there is no pattern. The effects of Ethereum exposure vary greatly between subjects. Yes, many suffer from advanced necrosis infection, the undead, but there are others whose side effects appear strictly cerebral. Hallucinations, paranoia, amnesia. Then there's Maxis. Not sure what to make of her. No necrosis. Only side effect appears to be the amnesia, but there's more going on there. Her Ethereum concentration? Off the scale. Highest I've seen. And normally a subject with a fraction of that exposure would be fully transformed, but she seems unaffected. So far. Now, I'm not saying she's dangerous. We just don't know what she is. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but something happened. I think. It's not clear. When she asked me for my access codes, I swear I saw her diary move across the desk. By itself. Now, I wasn't looking directly at it. I just finished an 18-hour day. I was exhausted. I mean, I probably just imagined it. Right?
Is Samantha's powers, or did going to the Dark Aether reactivate Samantha's powers? That's interesting, man. I am super excited for this story, man. Like, it's not all up in your face. You gotta look for it, but it is there, man. This story this year is just so good. I am super excited. I am loving this story, man. I cannot wait for the end of the season. I know just some crazy bonkers shit's gonna happen, man. But does that mean that Maxis being thrown into the Dark Aether reactivated her powers from the last world? Or the last timeline? Because Samantha and Edward were the only ones that went into that reality, or into this new reality, basically kind of as their own selves, but they don't remember. I mean, obviously, if you saw what happened at the end of Tag der Toten, like, the world just reset, and those kids were thrown into this world without any memory. So, did going back to the Dark Aether activate Sam's powers? Pretty freaking crazy, man. Alright, so we got a Healing Aura canister. One of several interchangeable canisters for the one weapon. When used, summons beams of energy capable of healing wounds suffered by members of Requiem's strike team. Cool. I like that. Healing aura looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Contains contents under high pressure. Alright, and then we got the Recon Rover model. A model of Unnatural Sciences Dark Ether Recon Rover. Prototype before the rover went into production. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Alright, so that is it for Requiem. Now we got 11 Omegas. Greater Threat. Kravenchenko laments the destruction of his reality inversion warheads at Requiem's hands and plots his next move.
November 30, 1984. It has been just over 2 weeks since the unfortunate disaster involving Omega's reality inversion warheads. It appears chaos follows Dr. Peck wherever he goes. I have been told Peck's removal is not viable. He's our premier expert on Aetherium, and there is no time to find and educate a suitable replacement. Another unfortunate disaster. Peck hoped the missiles could be recovered, but, as I suspected, our salvage efforts have proven futile. What remains of the warheads belongs to the ocean now. We must begin again. We cannot afford another setback at the hands of Requiem. I had hoped to deal with them after Operation Inversia, but I can see now they require my immediate and undivided attention. If there is any consolation, it seems Requiem remains in the dark about our agenda. They believe the inversion warheads were to destroy the West. Little do they realize a greater threat looms in the Dark Ether. The entity must be contained.
Interesting. So that does confirm that the warheads were not meant for the West. They were meant to capture this entity, which is probably Dr. Monty. Day of Victory. Valentina discusses another strain's visitation from her father and the next stage of their plan.
21st of November, 1984, personal log. My father visited me once again. Our day of victory approaches. His triumphant return. His righteous revenge. The world is not prepared for what we shall unleash. He could not tell me when, only that it would be soon. After so many years, decades, it's hard not to feel excitement. Ever since I was a little girl, I have dreamt of this moment. I will never forget when his ghost first appeared to me. I was 5, maybe 6. At first I was terrified, but how else is a child to react? But when he called me by my real name, I knew it was him. He has guided me ever since. If all goes according to plan, not only will I have completed his mission, but he will be free. No longer trapped in that dark, evil place. I can save him. I have to. The time is soon. Our day of victory approaches. East, West, Requiem, Omega, even Kravchenko. They have no idea what is coming for them.
I'm doubting that that's actually her dad, and I'm pretty sure that it's just the entity messing with her mind. It could be her dad, but I am pretty sure that's the entity making her seem like, feel like it was that. Like it is her dad. Because she couldn't tell by his face. She could only tell because he used his real name. So that has to be the entity. The survivors. While on the hunt for the Omega defectors, the strike team recovers an audio log left behind by Dr. Hugo Yeager. So these three audio logs you can hear, which you have to listen to at least most of it during the Easter egg, but you have to activate these three audio logs to push forward during the Easter egg, but we will go ahead and listen to them again.
Hello? Scheiße. Ravenov, it is Dr. Hugo Yeager. I hope either you or Requiem find this recording. Most of us survived the crash. We're headed to Monument Island. I hope we'll be safe from Omega. Before you ask, yeah, that is on the other side of the phase, but the scientists are in this. They have created something incredible. A device that will allow us to travel through the phase without dying. Or worse, they only have one prototype, but they are assembling another from spare parts so you can follow us. Unfortunately, we are missing a component. An ethereal orb. Find one and bring it to the bridge. There will be a slightly modified recon rover waiting for you. Please hurry. Omega shot us down. They will not leave the job unfinished.
Alright. The device. The strike team finds another message from Yeager discussing a secretive Omega device, the Ethereum Neutralizer. So I believe this is after you get the orb inside and also bring the bunny back as well.
Ravenov, Requiem, Yeager here. If you are hearing this, you must have found the rover and completed the device. They call it an Ethereum Neutralizer. It does what it says on the tin. It neutralizes Ethereum particles in the air, pacifying a radius around the device by boosting power from the orb's primordial energy. Allowing safe passage through the phase is just one of the many potential applications for this device. This improvised device should hold a charge long enough to traverse the phase. Once you're through, make your way to the monument. We will be on the roof. We eagerly await your arrival. Too long have we been silent about Omega's atrocities. There is much for us to discuss. Soon, we will change the world. Hello, Requiem. So glad you could make it. Enjoying my...
Wait, was I not? I feel like maybe I just muted too quick. The trap, Yeager reveals his true intentions.
Hello, Requiem. So glad you could make it.
I'm just gonna stay unmuted because I feel like I'm fucking up.
Don't worry, they did not go quietly. Dr. Zarkova, she put up quite a struggle. It was almost honorable. But there is no honor in betraying Omega. It is a despicable act of cowardice. When Kravchenko learned of the plot to defect, I could not volunteer fast enough. Once I infiltrated the room, the colonel gave me two tasks. One, kill the traitors. Easy enough. Nothing a hacksaw and a gas can could not solve. But the second, to lure Requiem's so-called elite strike team into a trap. That added a complication, but fortunately, crashing helicopters is easy once you've poisoned the pilot. As for the Ethereum Neutralizer, rest assured, it will be well taken care of in Omega's hands. Soon we will change the world, Requiem. Auf Wiedersehen.
And the feedback starts coming, calling in the horde, and you leave and the egg is finished. And well, you know what happens. Go ahead and check that video out on my channel. Outbreak Easter egg number 2, in parentheses, prologue to Murder Totem. So that's it for the audio logs. We got 2 documents. Ravenov burn notice. Official KGB order announcing that Ravenov has been disavowed and is now an enemy of the state. On Spetsgrupa Omega Office Captain Sergei Ravenov, all directorates and affiliates per order of Viktor Chebrikov, Chairman of State Security. Effective immediately. The Committee for State Security disavows Spetsgrupa Omega Captain Sergei Ravenov. He is to be stripped of rank, privileges, and citizenship. Subject has engaged in communications, traded classified intelligence, and facilitated operations with the Central Intelligence Agency and the Buddhist National. The Committee for State Security declares Sergei Ravenov an enemy of the state for high crimes against the Greater Soviet Union. If encountered, subject is to be taken into custody. Be advised, subject is highly trained and will resist arrest. If apprehension is not possible, he is to be terminated. Any documents or materials found on his person are to not be viewed and are to be delivered with the subject. Subject is extremely charismatic and manipulative. While in custody, he may divulge information, specifically with regards to the actions of Spetsgrupa Omega. This is to be disregarded. If any leaked intelligence regarding Spetsgrupa Omega can be traced back to the arresting officer, they will be arrested and tried for high crimes against the Greater Soviet Union. Photograph of Ravenov featuring disavowed stamp. Sergei Ravenov, Spetsgrupa Omega. Yikes, poor Ravenov. Ethereum Neutralizer Blueprint. Design specs for the Ethereum Neutralizer, a secret Omega project. Unfortunately, most of the blueprint was lost in the fire. Now, I believe this was also right next to the very last audio log where you find the scientist dead upstairs while you're listening to the last audio log. Ethereum Neutralizer, Psychotronics Omega. When activated, the Ethereum Neutralizer removes 99.8% of all airborne Ethereum particles within a surrounding radius. The device generates an energy shield that protects the user, preventing exposure to Ethereum and its known side effects. Limitations. Device requires harvesting energy from Ethereal Orb, a rare commodity that requires collection from the outbreak zones. Mass production non-viable until we can create a synthetic alternative to replace the orbs. Device cannot remove Ethereum from specimens/objects already contaminated. E.g., we cannot stabilize specimens experiencing advanced necrosis. Yeah, that one. So we got 2 radio transmissions. Omega's reputation. Kravenchenko and Gorev discuss the state of Omega.
There is nothing yet, Colonel. Even if he is still in Russia, which I doubt, he has gone to ground. A ghost and a burn notice. Distributed. There is nowhere in the Eastern Bloc he can run to. Any of his remaining allies have been made aware of his transgressions.
Transgressions? You make it sound like he kicked your dog.
The fucking traitor. How did this slip by you? I am searching for answers myself. I have known the Captain for many years. His record would suggest he was incapable of such betrayal. He was the perfect soldier. A true Soviet.
A fucking coward. This is the last thing we need. The Kremlin is asking questions. Gorev, I am not accustomed to having to explain myself. I am not accustomed to being spied on. Chebrikov's rats are everywhere, waiting to scurry back and report our latest failure. Outpost 25, Ruka. Omega is gaining a reputation. And now, there are rumors of dissent within our own ranks. One more incident, and we are finished.
No. If you are worried of mutiny, it will be snuffed out, Colonel. You have my word.
Like I did with finding the moon. As it is, I already have someone for that job. You must continue your work with Peck. Those warheads were our best chance of containing the entity.
The entity. So far, I have had no luck in finding such a thing. We have interviewed the dark ether. None can recall anything that matches your description of this entity. Perhaps your source in Requiem is acting on incomplete information.
My source is not to be questioned, nor challenged. The threat is real. This is not a discussion. Find it before it finds us.
Wait a minute. There's no way Carver's a traitor, right? There's no way Carver would go and rat, right? It could be Strauss too, because he's really playing it like, Carver, you're an idiot. Shut up. There's no such thing. Or it could just be somebody that we don't know yet. It can't be Gray. Gray wouldn't do that. I really doubt that Carver would, because he's a major. Even if nobody would listen to him, he wouldn't do that. I feel like it's Strauss because... I don't know. I feel like none of them could do that. I guess we'll find out who this traitor is later then. The One-Eyed Cowboy. Kravchenko and Gorev discusses Peck's usefulness.
There is the question, Gorev, of what is to be done with Peck. This is twice now his projects ended in failure. Omega's reputation will not survive a third.
You know my feelings on this matter. I would love nothing more than for our one-eyed cowboy to be strung up in the gulag. However, I cannot say the failure at Ruka lies with him. Whether he knows it or not, Peck has been under 24-hour surveillance. I can safely say he was not the one to leak the documents to Ravenov and Requiem.
These fucking leaks. Do I look like a fucking plumber to you, Gorev?
Peck has not outlived his usefulness. He is still our most knowledgeable scientist on Ethereum. In that regard, he has no equal. More importantly, I believe he could help find this entity of yours.
I'm listening.
As you know, Peck has been talking to that computer. Apparently, he has built something of a rapport with his creator. Perhaps he is familiar with your creature.
What? Why am I only hearing of this now? How long has this been going on?
Several months, Colonel. Valentina assured me she wrote a report on the matter and delivered it to you personally.
Tell Peck to keep talking to his friend. Have him ask about the entity. I will speak to Valentina myself.
Okay. Now we got some artifacts. The Inversion Warhead model. A model for the Reality Inversion Warhead shown to Kravchenko as a proof of concept. Little Tempest on there and shit. Ether Reactor model. Reactor model. A model for the Ether Reactor from Outpost 25. Created by Peck as a proof of concept in the early days of the Omega facility. Nice. So now we got Max's, which she only has 4 intels. We got 3 audio logs here. The Ally. Before the incident at the Omega missile silo, Maxis seeks Gray's assistance. Ooh, so we're gonna see how Gray actually found, or got Maxis. Sorry, how Maxis got Gray to help us. Or help her, rather.
Sam,
Did you...
look. I could get myself in so much trouble. Hey, doggy.
Did you do what I asked, Elizabeth?
I'm not sure if I can. Honestly.
You know we're on the brink of war, Elizabeth.
Hey. Okay.
A great war.
I know. But being here at Requiem, It's a big opportunity for me. I don't want to throw away my career, my life.
This is the only way.
If I give you access to my comms protocols, it could be the biggest mistake I've ever made.
Do you know what it's like to be cut off from the outside world? To have no way to see or even communicate with the people you care about?
I'm a long way from home, Sam. This was a big move for me. Coming here, doing all of this. If I give you my console key, I could find myself back in Bristol before you can say Jack Robinson. Sorry, old saying. I'm not sure how old. My mum, Liz, used to say it. It means things happened very quickly. It means I don't want to get in trouble with Weaver.
Things don't always happen quickly. Sometimes they take a long time. Sometimes too long. Weaver knows that.
Well, getting sent back home is probably the most optimistic outcome. I could find myself facing charges and in prison, military prison.
But you will do it. Right, Lizzie?
I'm not sure, Sam. I'm really not.
If you do what I ask, maybe you could pet the dog some more.
What have you done?
Everything's okay, girl. Everything's okay.
No, Sam. Everything is not okay. Who the hell do you think you are?
You know me, Weaver.
I thought I did. But I never thought you would do something like this. How dare you contact the team to drag them into whatever scheme you and Ravenoff thought was important.
Weaver.
And involving poor Dr. Gray and your misguided bullshit.
It was the right thing to do. It was the only way.
No, Sam. The right thing to do would have been to come to me, to let me do my job.
It is your job to keep me muzzled like a dog. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
This is why we have a problem, Sam.
I was trying to do the right thing.
I told you what the right thing to do was. Look after the dog. That's it. You can find quarters. No more walks.
No.
Someone else will take care of that.
No. Weaver.
Now, I have to try to straighten all this out with the director.
Can't unmute. Take her. Maxis is taken away. Yo, wait. I'm just saying I'm Team Maxis over Requiem. So...
What's happening?
Garcia Anderson. Secure her.
Hey! Take your hands off me! Weaver! Call them off!
You're to undergo some additional testing. Don't make this any harder than it already is.
Why are you doing this?
I'm not. Orders from the director. It's okay, girl. I'll look after you.
Weaver! Make this stop!
I can't, Sam. My hands are tied.
Weaver!
Man, fuck you, Weaver. I'm about to go in that office right now and throw some hands. Alright, so we got Quarantine Diary 9. Maxis tells a story about her shared past with Weaver. I remember waiting for your call. 10, 11, 12. The phone never rang. Instead, I saw the news of the explosion on TV. I couldn't sleep. 3 a.m. I heard a knock at my apartment door. You gave the key word, and I let you in. We'd never met face to face before. It was a shock to finally meet you. You were in a bad way. I did my best to dress your wounds, but it was the first and only time I ever saw you cry. You mumbled something about not knowing, about how sorry you were. You torched the place to cover your tracks after the hit. You said the boy was supposed to be staying with his mother, but he wasn't. He was there, in the house, while it burned to the ground. Damn. I wonder if Eddie really died then, man. Because it's really sounding like Eddie died. Either way, we got our final 7 intels here. We got our first up, audio log. We are waiting. A lifetime of preparation is about to be rewarded.
To them, made them value and respect you, the better to plunge your blade in their backs. Gather your things, bid farewell to this false life, Lee. Go to Berlin. Everything is in place.
Oh, I am so excited for Naruto, I am so excited for Naruto, I'm so excited for Naruto, man. I cannot wait. Cannot wait, bro. That map is gonna be so fucking good. I know it. I just know the map is gonna be so good. Alright, so we got 2 documents here. Day 4513. Zaikov's journal, or Vogel. Oh! Oh, that was Dr. Vogel. Oh. Okay. At first I thought that was Zykov for a second, so I was very confused. But that is Dr. Vogel, who created the D Machine, or Project End Station. They created the Project End Station facility. And I guess he got trapped in the Dark Ether? It has been a while since... This is why I've been wanting to do these videos as well, so I didn't have to read them all in my head, so anybody else can just kind of listen and watch and stay with me. So, hi future Troy, listening to this again, because why not? But I can't remember if Vogel was trapped in the Dark Ether or what, but I guess he was, obviously, and... It must have been in an intel, but that was way back in like preseason or season 1, so can't remember that shit. Either way, it's day 4513. Zaikov's Journal of Survival reveals details of the Dark Ether power structure and the one entity he fears above all others. Day 4513. Since my arrival here, I have gradually come to understand there is a balance of power among the creatures of this realm. While most of us are consumed with day-to-day survival, the ones at the top of the food chain gather armies of followers and vie for supremacy. These are huge, obscenely powerful entities. I believe their competition goes back eons, but there is one of these elder gods I fear above the rest. Should it gain enough power, it will reign supreme and look for fresh conquest, and if it becomes aware of my homeland, they will be too busy competing with the West to notice the real danger. Interesting. Day 4729. Zykov begins plans for a device to stop the Dark Ether's new overworld from threatening our world. Day 4729. I have learned more about the one who seeks to rule this land alone. I do not know why. After centuries of stalemate, this particular creature is suddenly ascendant. I am convinced that should it defeat its rivals, its bottomless appetite for power will not go away. So I must somehow find a way to stop it before it decides Mother Russia looks like a banquet. To that, I am designing a new mechanism I hope will prevent this menace from ever leaving this place. I may go into further detail about how it functions, but first I must gather components, assemble it, and run tests, all without catching the attention of our new overlord. Can one man succeed where the elder gods failed? Time will tell. Let's go Zykov, man. Zykov is a goat. He is the man. He fucking put it in that work. So we got our radio transmissions here. Secret contact. The strike team makes a disturbing discovery about Zykov.
Hello, my friend. I have been wanting to speak with you again. We have so much to do, and we are running out of time. Yeah, about that. My colleagues are starting to ask questions. I think they might know about you. They've definitely seen me on this computer, and they're wondering what I'm up to. I see. This may take some finesse, Dr. Peck. But you must somehow reassure them you are not up to anything they would not approve of. Easier said than done. Gorev and Valentino watch me like hawks, just waiting for me to screw up. They cannot understand your genius, Peck. They also do not know your inner pain. Not like I do. Look, if you help me round up more of those Tempest guys, I could make new inversion warheads, get back in the Colonel's good graces. No. Niet, my friend. That seemed like a good plan when we first conceived it. But now, I would not set you up to fail yet again. Besides, I have a better idea. Do tell. I am beginning construction of a new device. I will spare you the details until I know it can work. But it is exactly the sort of weapon your Colonel is looking for. Okay. When will you know if this new gizmo is viable? Soon, my friend. Just keep checking in with me. I am counting on your help. Hello, Zykov. You there? It's me, Peck. Yes, my friend. I am here. Where else would I go? So, my co-workers definitely know I'm in contact with you. They even know your name. And they did not discipline you? No. They see you as a potential gold mine of Dark Ether intel, and they don't want to punish the one guy you'll talk to. In fact, Gorev told me to ask about the entity you say is in charge over there. It's real, right? It is an existential threat to all of you, my friend. It is the reason I am building my new device. And that's... what? A weapon? It is something we will need when the real invasion comes. But tell your people I will reveal more details only if you help me come home. You got it. They might want to debrief you for days, but if you deliver on intelligence and firepower, they'll make you a hero of the Soviet Union. They can keep their medals. Just help me come home. Okay. Let me know when your device is ready. We'll work on how best to repatriate you. Over and out.
I was muted. Why am I muted? I think I muted myself during that. Uh-oh. Empty stamina. An unopened can of stamina likely used by an operator who needed some extra running and wanted to keep on gunning, but liked to twist the line. Fuck. I literally was just fuck. I hate myself. Either way, lemon juice, lime shavings, high octane, gasoline, vitamin K, capsicum, jumping bean extract. And then we got the Fury Crystal, a temperamental Ethereum crystal with unusual transformative properties. This is one of 5 Outbreak world events. Sorry if I hope I wasn't muted for too long, because that would be very trash if I was. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. I got some new videos coming. We got Murder Totem. Super excited. This intel was awesome. Super excited for that. Probably some more Onslaught. I still need to be Dead Ops first person. And then I do want to do Outbreak Easter Egg 1 and 2 again, but beat them on round 7 so I can play all 6 maps and do all 6 objectives in one game, and then complete the Easter egg. So hopefully I can do that, especially because the first one's a lot freaking harder. So yeah, hopefully we can do that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here. I'll see